last run with me as host. And afterwards, we are going to have Kuno Demetrius, and we are going to also have Shane Kills coming over as our restreamer for next few runs. Currently, it looks like we are getting ourselves ready for Pokemon Puzzle League, which is actually not meant to be my final run host. I'm meant to be hosting. I'm meant to be doing other stuff. But yeah. Got Pokemon Puzzle League coming up, everyone.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Tayman, and welcome to Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64. And I get from a lot of people that they played this game when they were kids, and they're just so happy to see someone actually speedrunning it. They didn't know that it could be speedrun. And the S-Hard category is pretty infamous, just for the AI having some incredibly fast cursor speed, but we're actually going to be using an exploit to try to kill these opponents in under 30 seconds. And I'm going to explain that before we get started, because it is a pretty fast-paced game. So, the AI is programmed to clear the lowest garbage block on their screen. So what we do is we start a chain with a 4 combo. And a 4 combo is just lining up 4 blocks at once. And then in that chain, we get another 4 combo. And we try to time it so we drop the chain when they leave an opening on the side. If we can get one of those tiny garbage blocks to fall into the side, they probably won't be able to find a clear on it, and then they'll just freak out and then die, even if they had other valid moves. So there's still a lot of RNG involved in this run. There's a reason the estimate's 40 minutes, even though the world record is 15:07. And so yeah, it's going to be a really fun time. I hope you guys will banter about the game, ask questions, talk about the anime, talk about which game or which waifu is the best. Spoiler, there are no waifus in this game. They're all terrible. They've all ruined my runs, so don't give the waifus any attention. So, is there anything else before we get started?
You should be good.
Alright, cool. So counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we're on Gary 1 here, and normally we can just reset on Gary 1 if we're trying to grind for a PB. But, because this is a marathon, we just have to kind of play it out. Now, one thing I try to go for on Gary 1 is something called a stop time kill. And stop time is basically... Okay, so right there, see how those tiny blocks on the left fall all the way down to the bottom. And Gary couldn't find a clear on those. So that's why he just died right there. It's just an exploit in the AI. But what I was saying with stop time is that stop time is an imaginary counter that counts down, or imaginary timer that counts down. And when it hits 0, you die. So when you raise your stack, or what I was going to say is, doing chains and combos actually gives you more stop time. But if you raise a stack, it actually resets your stop time. Oh my god, Brock. He just airwalked that all the way over. So at the beginning of S Hard, their cursor speed isn't quite as godlike. So what I might do is drop my chain as soon as they raise the stack. This will actually reset their stop time, and then hopefully they'll just run out of time trying to go for a clear on that tiny garbage block.
Do you have time for the donation?
Yes, pop in with donations whenever.
Alright, so we have 1143 by the Ferret, and he says, "Let's go Tay, PPL hype."
Hey, thanks for the donation, Ferret. Pretty close friend of mine.
Also, another question: what is one major difference between S Hard and the easier difficulties?
It's really just a matter of how fast the AI cursor is. In something like hard mode... Hold on, I am looking here. Okay. So, in something like hard mode, the cursor speed is actually pretty slow, and it's just a matter of topping them off as fast as possible. And in V-Hard, it's kind of a stepping stone between hard and S-Hard. The first half will use hard mode strats, and the second half of V-Hard you can use some S-Hard strats, because sometimes they will give you that opening for the quick kill. Okay, so I'm dropping that chain. Okay, well I wanted to drop that chain. I dropped that chain as soon as Surge raised their stack. I noticed that he had columns on each side. This is probably not going to work, so I'm just going to reset. The stop time strategy is basically a way to try to cheese out a kill. It only works in the first half, and I really only go for it if they don't give me the traditional quick kill opening. Again, the traditional quick kill is when they leave an opening on one side, and we just drop in a small garbage block. Okay, so this might work here. But he's... Unfortunately, he had a clear right below that. But I think we're gonna have enough. No! Oh my god, dude, look at that. So he barely had any blocks left, but he just incidentally had a clear. Okay, don't go on second tier. Don't go to second. Stop! Don't. Okay, so basically, I'm going to reset that. If you tune into my stream, or most Puzzle League streamers, they're going to be bantering at the game a lot. So, because it's just me, because I don't have or dedicated co-commentators, I'm going to be just bickering at this game a lot. But of course, feel free to hop on if there are any questions. If anyone has questions in chat.
So, I guess tier 2 is bad.
Yeah. Oh yes, tier 2 is when they're up in the blocks above the garbage. Because Surge didn't have any clears below the garbage, but he had a clear above it. And that's really annoying whenever that happens. So I try to limit the amount of combo garbage I send, because that can actually give them more ammunition. Okay, keep going, Erica. Yeah, so this is exactly what we want the AI to do. We want them to chain a whole bunch and leave that opening on the side. So that worked perfectly.
So, theoretically, what do you think would be like the fastest like possible time for the game?
My sum of best is a 906, and my world record is 1507. So theoretical fastest time is under 10 minutes if everything goes perfectly, like every single time. And that's just not gonna happen. Holy cow. And Koga played nice too. So this is actually a really good pace right now, but in my world record, my Koga split was 456. So that just goes to show how much RNG is involved in this run.
Has the community ever thought about allowing like external things to make it more consistent, or is it just like always been looked negatively?
Well, the RNG is kind of the point, right? Like that's the point of playing the puzzle games. There's a member of our community that raised a pretty good point about how he wants either no RNG in games or all RNG in games. Because if you think of a game like Super Mario Bros. 3, there's RNG in that game as far as those Hammer Bros moving around the map. And there's really no gameplay component to that. It's just, like, hoping. Wow, this is going really well. It's just hoping that those Hammer Bros, like, don't move around much. There's no connection to the gameplay. But here, the RNG is the game. So basically, I speedrun this game because I love this puzzle game. And it's just a matter of grinding it and playing it and trying to get a good time.
The Masked Ferret says you speedrun because you're insane, let's be real.
Yes. I've made a very bad decision by running this game. No, I did not top off Tracy.
You're cursed with your own decisions. This game is your curse.
I honestly wish I could be into just a regular speed game where it's a normal progression and you know how it goes. But at the same time, I really love Puzzle League. And I just really enjoy... Frickin' dang it, Tracy. Just enjoy playing this game so much.
One of the
now, what's that?
One of the things I've asked you previously before, but I would like it answered one more time, is the Pikachu that you selected at the start actually has no use at all, right? It's just aesthetics.
Right. And I guess technically we had a Pokemon bid war, but I don't know if I saw any bids. So we normally just pick Pikachu just because we're mashing through and trying to pick Pokemon as fast as we can. Oh my gosh, Tracy. Yep, so this is what can happen. Yep, and then he just went up on second tier again. I'm going to let this play out a bit because he's pretty low on blocks, so right now I'm just waiting to see if he'll mess up. Okay, now I'm going to reset. So, in most runs, you'll hit a wall like this. The key to speedrunning this game really well is to just don't make mistakes. And that's easier said than done. I've been playing Puzzle League games since I was 5, so I'm pretty good at chaining. So basically, I just want to don't make any dumb mistakes. I just want it all to come down to the RNG. And RNG is not treating me well right now. The biggest challenge of running S-Hard is having to watch the AI screen while you're chaining. I think that's the most mind-blowing aspect of the speedrun when other people see it.
For, I'm sorry. Masked Ferret asked, was it harder to learn how to screen read or learning when to cut your losses in the game?
I would say screen reading, because I've always been a pretty heavy proponent of resetting early. But that is something you have to overcome initially, because it's really fun to chain. You know, if you're really good at chaining, you just want to keep chaining forever and ever. But that's not a good strategy. You have to know how to cut your losses and when to reset. Screen watching is a skill that it definitely took. Like, you keep getting good at it. Like, I should have been watching a little earlier here.
So, as someone who's actually never actually, I'm sorry, I said actually twice. So, as someone who's actually never played any type of these games, how would you rate this over, like, different games, like, over difficulty?
Puzzle games, by far, are the most difficult games to speedrun. And that's because, with a traditional speed game, the progression's always the same. You're always going the same levels, and you usually have the same strategies. And you might have some variation, or you might need to adapt on the fly in certain points, but that's not usually the case, and definitely not for a majority of the run. This entire run is like learning on the fly. Puzzle games are learning on the fly. So I honestly think that, speedrunning puzzle games is harder than speedrunning Dark Souls, or a Souls-like game. Because those games are difficult initially, but once you learn them, you just have to recall those strategies. It's a lot of memorization. But puzzle games, you need absolute mastery over the mechanics. And it's never going to be the same thing twice. Ooh, this...
Would you say Puzzle League is the hardest game that you run, or do you think that there are others that can top it?
Puzzle League's the only game I run, to be fair. I did run Ukulele for a little bit, and that was pretty easy. There was just one trick you had to learn, and well, there's a handful of tricks you had to learn in Ukulele, but I got them down more or less in a few weeks. And I know I started from a young age playing Puzzle League, but it still took me years to get this good. Also, welcome to Discount Ash.
What's this kind of?
Oh, that's Richie.
Sadly, I've also never watched the TV show.
Oh, remember he shows up in the anime and he beats Ash. And I guess technically you should call Ash Discount Richie because Richie beats Ash in the anime.
I mean,
but it's just funny.
I mean, isn't Ash just rip off Red?
Yeah, but that was the adaptation of Red.
Oh, my B.
This is a big distinction you're talking about.
Gotta remember, I never watched the show.
Okay, game. I disagree with that. Try that again. I didn't watch much of the anime myself either. I was more of a Digimon kid.
Oh, it's funny. I have Digimon cards.
Digimon cards, wow.
I have Digimon cards, and I remember when we started collecting them, I thought they were Pokemon cards because I had like a reading disability as a kid. So my mom would buy them for me, thinking that's what I wanted.
Oh no.
So I actually I have like both of them now as an adult. So it works out.
Dude, what if you could have had the $1 million frickin' Richie? What if you could have had the first edition Charizard, but your mom bought you Digimon cards instead?
I would have been disappointed. I actually have the first edition Seadra that they made when it was still called Pocket Monsters, and that card is like $400.
It's always fun to go back and see what your old stuff is worth.
They actually just reminded me, a little bit after License-a-thon ended, I sold one of my old PS2 games called Haunting Ground, and it costed like $450.
Holy cow. I don't think I've even heard of that game.
Yeah,
Probably has to do with why it's worth so much.
You know, like Clockwork, or whatever it's called.
Oh,
Clock Tower 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Clock Tower.
It is
I'm familiar with that.
Direct sequel to the Clock Tower franchise, which they were going to expand it onto Haunting Ground. And when they were releasing Haunting Ground in the United States, it flopped so poorly that they only released like one digital copy, like one digital like printation, which is like only like 10,000 so games or whatever. And we had one off of release that my parents used to play.
That's really interesting. I know the Clock Tower series. It's gotten a pretty big cult following. All right, you want to do anything, Lorelei? All right, she's pretty high on blocks right there, so I'm gonna reset. I think I missed an opening early on. That's the one fallback of some of these marathon runs is that, and it's okay because the marathon runs don't have to be perfect, but it is a little harder to look at the screen.
What would you say? I'm sorry. What would you say the rarity is for like getting a PB for you, as you have the world record?
It's possible that I just never get a PB again. Because, oh my god, Lorelei. Like, right now, world record's 15:07, and the next closest time on the leaderboards is 17:01. So it was some pretty disgusting luck when I got that run. Now, to be fair, my previous PB was 1535, and I wasn't even trying for a PB when I got the 1507. I was actually grinding for qualifier times for this Puzzle League tournament that we're having next month. So I'm going to shout that out at the end. But I ended up getting world record during the qualifiers. And the qualifier times, the number of points you get in the qualifiers for S-Hard is based off of what the best time submitted is. So because I got a new world record, basically no one else can get any points in S-Hard. Because my time was so good.
So the possibility of you ever getting like a PB during a marathon run would be literally nearly not.
That would never happen for someone like me.
But that hype though would be up there.
It'd be even more hype because it's basically the lottery. There's so much RNG in this, so it would be like winning the lottery on stream. And that's why I say that it would be nice to have a traditional speed game where you're pretty guaranteed to get reliable progression in that game. But in Puzzle League, you can PB, like if you're just starting out, you can PB by minutes, or you can just PB by seconds. I remember when I was learning, I'm gonna cut that off. Holy cow, Bruno's popping off. Look at that. That is absolutely perfect.
So would you believe that this game is easy to pick up but hard to master?
This is definitely easy to pick up if you have, I'd say, like, at least moderate Puzzle League skills. It's pretty simple to just go on hard mode. Hard mode's a good beginner category. And you just need to drop a few lines of garbage on them and then they'll die. It's actually really fun to grind. So this is... I'm gonna drop that. Okay, that's a good Gary. Okay, so Mewtwo's coming up here. I'm sorry I have to keep delaying all your questions, because this game goes by so fast. So, you cannot reset on Mewtwo. But we have a saying that Mewtwo is free. I mean, if you reset on Mewtwo, you just go back to Gary 1, so technically you can reset. But we say that Mewtwo's free because Mewtwo is, like, generally so... Okay, I'm gonna stop that there. Unfortunately, Mewtwo is not free there. Mewtwo did not clear enough blocks. So hopefully we won't be here for that long.
What is the longest time you can fight Mewtwo? Because you said that it's really bad.
I once had a 17-minute Mewtwo. But I would probably reset before that happens, and then just go, because I'm pretty confident in my ability. What the heck? I'm pretty confident in my ability to quick kill Gary. Yeah, Go ahead.
Oh, I got you. What would you say would be your average like finished runs, like the overall time for all of them?
Ooh. Average finish run. Oh, hold on. No! Why did he have that? I would say, like, if I'm forced to complete the run and can't just reset, I would say probably between 27 and 30 minutes or so.
I mean, that's not really bad for the amount of RNG there is for this game.
No, I've gotten it to be more consistent. Oh, I think, there we go. We got him. Alright, so that's time. So even with that, it's not the best Mewtwo, but 2 minutes is much better than 10 minutes. So that was about 25 minutes, so that was very good. Yeah, Mewtwo is always a wild card. And since we have the tournament coming up, I'm gonna have to know like the Mewtwo strats, because it's important in a tournament to make sure your Mewtwo doesn't go on that long. If you're just doing a run and your Mewtwo goes a long time, well, then your run's just dead and you probably reset. You don't play it out. But in a marathon, you want to make sure that you beat him as fast as possible. So what you can do to make sure Mewtwo doesn't go super long is you can take a gamble and you can reset, go back to Gary 2, try to get 2 quick kills in a row. Or after you do the initial double 4 combo, you can just keep doing the double 4 if you have enough blocks. But that's not always going to be the case, because Mewtwo sends a lot of stuff. So that's all for the main run. Did we end up meeting the swag chain incentive?
I asked real fast for you. You beat me to it. I was pulling up your link, and no, we did not meet the incentive for this run.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but it was okay. We got a good showcase of. I think it's a really fun speed game to watch because it's so unique from traditional speed games. So I just want to plug my channel really quick. Come follow me at TaymanND if you want to watch runs of this game. Also, go follow the Puzzle General Discord. The Puzzle League marathon, or not marathon, tournament is starting the week of September 7th, I believe. And that's going to be really hype. Those are speedrun races, and they're very entertaining. You're going to be able to watch some of the best speedrunners in the world compete in that tournament. So I'll drop that in the chat. Otherwise, that's been Pokemon Puzzle League. Thanks for watching, and thanks for having me, Powerhouse Marathons. Good luck with the rest of the event.
Thus far.
Yeah, that is pretty mind-blowing. But hey, we're gonna be best buds by the end of this.
2021 and me and you're just every run.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I got
Alright.
you, man.
Alright, see you guys later.
See ya. Alright, Powerhouse. Watchers, we're going to be moving into the next marathon, but I believe the restreamers are going to be switching, so we should be having a downtime for just a little second to switch between runners. We just want to thank Tayman for doing his run. The next run is going to be Lena's Inception by Wolfman 2000. Hopefully you guys will help us reach the donation incentive to upgrade to the perfect ending for the run, because I heard that run's actually a little bit amazing, so hopefully we can get to there.